to Graphic Productions.
Alright, 2, 1. Woo, what's good? What's up, man? It is 11-1-20, November 1st, 2020. How do y'all feel?
I feel great,
You feel great?
but I'm kind of uneasy with this COVID. But otherwise, I feel okay.
Okay, alright, well, we'll get into that. We'll definitely get into that. But yeah, this is the,
The COVID and the election, those are the two things.
Those are the two hot points.
things. Hot
Okay.
points, COVID and election.
Alright, cool. Alright, cool. Alright, that's what's up. Yeah, this is the Give podcast, right? This is number 4. And we've been here and there, we've been doing what we've been doing so far. And with this whole podcast, we're really trying to take us to the next level. We saw a good opportunity at Wellspring Manor and Spa, and we're here doing our thing with the man who's in charge, Mr. Kevin Alexander Sr., my father. It's up here with the Lake Arbor Jazz Festival gear on right now.
Representing.
Yes, tell us about, who are you? What are you?
What am I? Want to say that I'm a businessman, jazz aficionado. My wife and I, as you mentioned, own Wellspring Manor and Spa. Founded the Lake Arbor Jazz Festival 10 years ago, so that's come. Obviously, COVID shut it down. But even before then, I just consider myself an all-around good guy. Did stuff in the community back in the day, still doing stuff in the community, not as much. Went to school, did the right thing, high school, college. Went to Fisk University, graduated with a degree in business, came out, worked for an insurance company, retired 35 years later, and now I'm living a dream.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I really see that whole story as being like the quintessential old head story.
Okay, all right. There's definitely some differences between myself being quote unquote an old head, baby boomer, and the younger generation, Gen Y, Gen X. There's certainly some differences. There's some similarities, but there's a lot of differences, and we can expand upon that.
Okay.
We can expand upon that.
All right, that's what's up. How much pride exactly do you take in being a quote unquote baby boomer or whatever you are?
I think growing up in the 60s, 70s, there was just some certain things that we did that we took pride in that I really enjoyed and I still enjoy. Like right now, most young folks can't even imagine working for a company for 35 years. Let's take that for starters.
Okay.
How many of the young generation can even think about spending 35 years with one company and retiring? That doesn't really happen that much.
It's not too appealing, especially if it's like an insurance. Right. I need a bit more exciting personally.
Yeah.
I just feel like there were different necessities or needs when you were coming up.
Right.
So and how was it? You were you went to Fisk,
right?
And you were Kappa. And your major was
economics and business.
Economics and
Economics and business. So let me start before Fisk, because really the foundation of my life started in Chester, Pennsylvania, which is where I'm from.
Right.
And we didn't have much. We didn't have a whole lot growing up, but one thing that we did have was family and community. It's one thing that we had. So we grew up for the most part in the housing projects in Chester, Lamokin Village, which we call LV.
Okay.
And the LV, right. LV for life. And then, from there, my mom, moved over to a nicer part of town, Nova Vista. But we all stayed together, we all were a tight-knit family. But in Chester, there was only one high school, and so one public high school. And so throughout the years, the elementary school fed into the middle school, fed into the high school. And so by the time we all arrived at Chester High School, and I graduated in '79, everybody in the city that was in my age bracket, from my age and maybe 4 years earlier and 4 years later, we all knew each other, and we kind of created this bond in Chester. And so even now, I'm out of school now for 40 years, just had my 40th anniversary or reunion, and it was just like the best, right? And that's something that I think young folks can't relate to.
That's it. Let's get into something.
You can't relate to. So I just want to start at Chester because I believe, had what I consider to be one of the best high school experiences that one could ask for. With the sports, with the community, with the friendships, and then ultimately graduating. It was awesome. I love my high school experience, which is a lot different than I think a lot of the young folks coming up who really don't look at high school the same way that we old heads looked at the high school experience. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see, there's a question I do want to ask you about that.
Yeah.
I went to DeMatha,
right?
Because same there.
Right.
And both of us have our own opinion about DeMatha, but it's a pretty similar opinion.
Okay.
That it was, I see it as like more toward jail.
Okay. And wow, and that's what I'm talking about. See, when we woke up in the morning, we couldn't wait to get to school.
Not the same.
Why though? What did you look forward to when you went to school?
Well, again, the first thing was the friendships. So I had friends in in high school, male and female, who we still.
Must be nice.
Okay, that's number one. So I'll back there. I got you. So that was probably it, because we knew that we would go to school and we would be able to hang out and enjoy friendships, right? Male and female. So that was one thing. I was into sports. So basketball, football, track, that was something that drove us to school, that competitive spirit coming in school. And then the other thing was, we had teachers that, I believe, we had teachers that cared. We had counselors that actually cared about us. And of course, parents that cared about us. And so at the end of the day, between the friendships, the sports, the school, the activities, we had a lot of activities. We just wanted to go to school. And I enjoyed school. So now, if I ask you that same question, and I got a question for you along those lines, if you don't mind me flipping the script.
Sure.
I understand that the math is an all-boys school. And so I understand that because it wasn't co-ed, there are certain things that, you didn't enjoy because it was co-ed.
Right.
Is that right?
There were everything.
There were everything.
That was everything.
They tried to make it better, but we still definitely missed that genuine experience. Like I always think like how it would have been if I went to like Flowers or like the neighborhood high school or something like that.
Yeah.
My whole school experience would have been different.
A lot different, right?
And, yeah.
Now, and I know you were a young man at the time, and so I kind of struggled with that decision, because I made the decision for you. Of course. But I made this decision looking out for your future, and
Right.
out of love, of course. Looking out for the best interest of my son for the future. Not really thinking about the socialization. I'm thinking about the academics, not the socialization, which in hindsight, probably, maybe I would have made a different decision. Because at the end of the day, would you have gotten just as good an education at Flowers, let's say, as opposed to the math? And it depends on how you apply yourself at the end of the day, right?
I mean, I think in that sense, like, when it really came to like, you know, the academic part of it,
Mhm.
DeMatha definitely, you know, was the better choice.
Okay. Right.
But I also think that the one of the biggest strengths that DeMatha had was like, you know, preparing young men
Right.
to be, you know, professional and have an
Exactly.
actual career and.
And see,
you know,
that's what I'm looking at.
Right.
I'm looking at that piece. I'm not looking at whether or not you find a nice young lady, you know, that you want to hang out with, and eventually you take to the prom or whatever. I'm not thinking about the social part of it. But you still had men, and then you also had a sister school, right? And then you also had neighborhood friends. So I'm thinking, okay, you can supplement whatever you did, whatever you missed at the Matha, you could pick up church, neighborhood, friendships outside of the Matha. But that didn't materialize for you. Nah, no.
I can't say that. I really can't say that it did.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, like a lot of the people that I had befriended at the Matha lived like way out there,
Right.
you know, and so I didn't really like see them at all.
Right.
So, like a lot of the friends that I did have were just like, you know, friends down the street.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was like definitely one of the L's that, that
Took an L on that one, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, so you didn't enjoy your high school experience as much on a scale from 1 to 10, whereas I put my high school experience at a 10 plus. Where would you rate your high school experience?
5.
5? Okay.
I remember we had this conversation before.
Okay.
That's fair.
I said
5?
I give it 5. I give it a 4.
You give it 4.
I said 5.
You said 5. Why 5 and why 4? I mean, what was it? What's that 1 point difference between the two of you? Y'all came out at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because we did have this conversation. I think it was just because like,
DeMatha was just dumb to me. I mean, like, DeMatha was dumb to me because, I mean, nothing at DeMatha to me made sense actually. Why would you have all boys at a school, period? They talk about, like, the case is made for it where, oh, you're less distracted, oh, you could, you know, actually it was really just less distractions. It was the religious thing, the whole Catholic thing, which once again is not my thing. So, you know, that was, they made us go to mass and whatnot. I was like, first off, I'm not Catholic.
Okay.
Second off, I don't believe this stuff anyways.
Okay.
So, so I'm here for no reason. I would like to go walk around the campus. That'd be nice.
Okay.
You know, it was just like, it felt like I was being made to be there, which to me is like a deal breaker, but I can't break the deal, so like I gotta keep going.
So you were forced.
Right. Yeah.
You didn't make the. But isn't that the case with everything before you turn 18? For the most part.
For the most part.
You know, you don't make your own decisions as a child or as a teen, as an adolescent. You know, you leave it up to your parents to make the decisions for you, and hopefully they make the right decision. Every now and then you disagree with the decisions that they make because of selfish reasons, right? So either now you're at the Matha, you have one choice, or you have choices, but you can either.
I gotta say, I don't mean.
No. You can either make it work, or you can spend 4 years in misery.
Well, we know which decision you and I.
Okay. All right. Okay. So
I was like somewhere in between.
You were somewhere in
Like,
between.
I had like, you know, the good times, and then there was definitely the bad times.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, like literally, waking up every morning was the bad time.
That was bad. Waking up because
To go to school.
To go to school.
DeMatha.
you dreaded going, or because it was just that, you know, I had to drive you to school every morning. Then you didn't catch a bus, I had to drive you, and then I had to make my way to.
Yeah, like think about it, like, you know, going from like a public school where you just waking up at like 8 or something or whatever, and then having to wake up at like 4 in the morning.
Right.
Every morning. Like literally every morning.
Yeah. It was a grind getting
All right,
to
think
school.
about it like this. Think about it like this. And I understand. So you're thinking about it was not a pleasant time. Think about it from my perspective too. So it was very convenient for you to wake up, go to Flowers at 8 o'clock, walk to the corner, get the bus. If the bus take you to school, Bus picks you up, drops you off at the corner, and you walk 2 steps in your home every day, right? As opposed to me, because they didn't have buses that ran from our neighborhood to the Mather. So parents had to work that out.
Yeah.
And so I had, for 4 years, do it along with you. So you weren't alone. I was sacrificing, if you will, to make that ride, because I'm thinking in my mind, this sacrifice is worth it.
I can agree with that. I see where you're coming from with that. I would like to counter.
Okay.
My mom once, I remember, and I told both of y'all this, my mom once told me we were on the way to DeMatha one morning, and of course it was early and she had to drive me and there was traffic.
Right.
We had just come off, the train had stopped us. So we were both irritated. She was like, "Wow, I'm spending too much money," and of course my grades were mad.
Right.
So she was mad at me for that. She was like, "I'm spending too much money for you to be getting these average grades."
I'm sorry, that's the other thing. We're gonna come back to that.
Tuition was ridiculous. Tuition was crazy. But that's what I'm saying. Like my mom said, I'm spending too much money for you to get these average grades. You know, if you want, I'll just pull you out of the math. I was like, do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. I dare you.
Yes.
And she didn't do it. So